What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tig back again for another episode of Project Open Mic. Tonight's gonna be a special show, and I hope everybody will give me their eyes, their mind, their ears to listen to understand where I'm coming from. So I want to put myself on the screen. So I hope y'all doing well. Hope y'all have a good week. And it ain't crazy around the world. Again, remember this show is broadcast worldwide. I want to shout out to everybody who's giving me the time to listen to me, from those in all different other countries, of course, around the world. That's it. If you're watching this and there's a description at the bottom, there are multiple tree links to different things out there. But I will bring this up right now to jump back to see if people understand this. Go to youtube.com, Project Open Mic. You will see videos, and also Rumble, which is linked in there. Rumble, Project Open Mic, and Rumble.com as well too. And you'll see videos. We have videos and podcasts, of course, on Spotify, Nico, YouLive, 10.4 FM, around the world. Like I said, we're listening. But as a source, I want to. If you are intrigued by what I am saying, you can go to Project Open Mic on YouTube or on Rumble.com and watch those videos where I basically point out all the in other words, if you've seen me when I bring my receipts. So that's what it's gonna talk about. So it might be it shouldn't be that little lengthy, but I'm gonna try to get straight through this as best as I can. So something happened to me this week that makes me want to do this video, especially made a video. And it happened because of something that's weird to me. Like I said before, I have talked about all these topics. I have showed video of all these topics that I want to be talking about, but there's some videos I'm going to show, but I'm going to iterate some more going forward in this conversation tonight. So tonight, I'm talking about truths, some uncomfortable truths. So there's many uncomfortable truths that people don't want to accept. The first one is because a lot of this happened in the late 90s up to now with a lot of the shows like, later Oprah and Raphael's, and those daily talk shows and stuff like that. All right, there's one truth. There's only one truth. When I hear anybody say, "But I'm living my truth," I know from that point on, you're speaking crap. I'm gonna try my best not to curse. Trust me, this topic has got me a little heated. But when I hear any person say that, most of the time when I hear that say that, is mostly women who say that, saying, "Well, I'm living my truth. This is my truth." I'm like, I don't want to hear that nonsense. Oprah started that crap, and it's stupid. My truth. What the hell? No. There's only one truth. Okay? And people need to understand that. If anybody starts saying anything that's not that, then yeah. You already done know they're full of it. And that's why I'm going to try to speak the truth. I'll also preface this going forward because I'm going to talk about Christianity. I'm going to talk this going profession. I don't know if I'm going to go to heaven or hell. I don't know. Today I looked at the 10 commandments, just that. There were more commands, of course, that was in the Bible. Do that. I have not done majority of the stuff that's on there, but have I done some of the stuff that break those commandments? Yes, I have. I am not throwing rocks at people in a glass house, because I have sinned. I try to live the best life I could live for me and my family. All right? And when times were tough as heck, I grit my teeth and do all the kind of works that I had to do. So you could believe many people could believe many things about me, but I just do not solely by doing what the crowd follows or what other people say. I just don't. You could call me a contrarian, you could call me something. I don't. But I'm not gonna tell you that I have not sinned myself. That would be stupid. We are all sinners and we ask for forgiveness from the Lord. That's what we're supposed to do. Me and my wife, like I said, we go through. I used to put Pastor Church was the church I used to go to on the channel and stuff like that. And I'm gonna still do that maybe in the future. Right now, I'm just being so busy and everything. But yes, I'm not looking at me that I'm holier than thou. All right. And also, I'm gonna give some anecdotal evidence. Just give you that. I'm gonna give you real evidence, but I'm gonna give anecdotal evidence of stuff that makes me say what I said. Another uncomfortable truth that a lot of people, I hear people say, this is coming from the Black community in America, always saying we're descendants of slaves. I don't even buy by that no more. By definition, everybody who's been in this world has been descendants of slaves. A lot of people only talk about in America, which I understand that, and that makes sense to a degree. But I could tell you, without knowing the other part of the story, y'all think y'all like the special untamed person, and I'm not with that. In Africa, they were, and I'm gonna do. Remember I said I'm gonna do specific shows on one specific topic instead of me jumping around like I normally do, just to show you what's going on in a week, because I do this show once a week. But I will do that the third Thursday of the month. I will do a specific show about certain things. That's just what I'll do, from cars to religion to whatever. But one of them I'm going to talk about is, again, slavery. Every continent had slavery on it. 1, 2. There are more slaves in the world now. There's more slaves in the world right now than it was back in the 1700s, 1600s, 1900s. That's another thing. Another thing is, yes, Vikings slave other Vikings. Black people slave other black people in Africa. The Muslims enslave other Muslims. The Asian enslaved Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great. I mean, those history just told you they enslaved other people all over the place. The Japanese enslaved the Chinese enslaved the Japanese. The Koreans and Japanese had a war. That's why they don't speak to each other. Literally, yesterday, being that what my job is, I was at a house with beautiful houses that was built. Beautiful houses. And I had to do a job. We're doing a job for people behind another house to get another house built. One neighbor is Indian. The ladies are Indian. And I'm talking about Indian. The next neighbor, I don't know, it could be, she was a darker skin, but she was Asian. She could have been a Vietnamese, Filipino. I don't know. But those are two different women right there. And because of America, they will categorize them. Those will be considered Asian. They didn't like each other. They live right beside each other. They didn't like each other. A lot of people never understand too. If you go, everybody think, I'll tell you this right now, and I mean it. Is America perfect? No. Does America has its problems? Hell yes. But I could tell you right now, as I am, I'd rather be where I'm at right now and be happy that I was here than being in most other countries in this world. There are conflicts going on in other countries that nobody talks about. There's rioting going on in rioting. The left party won in France, and they're rioting. But they don't, and they think that's what it is. But they'll learn quickly when gases keep on going up, petrol going up. They're gonna learn the hard way. But that's them. Britain is doing the exact same thing. Right now, Germany just banned bringing immigration to people, which they have the right to do that. That's good. Japanese and Korean, they hate each other in most cases, and they still have that bitter from the Japanese Korean War. Shiites and Sunnis are Muslim and they kill each other, just like how Catholics and Protestants and all the stuff back in the Irish were killing each other as well too. Everybody always talk about the Indians is all this and all this stuff like that. Okay, then Indians were killing and slaughtering each other and other people who were Indians by the hundreds of thousands. You think the Apaches were good with Iraqs in the Caribbean? The Iraqs and the Caribs were fighting each other. The Mayans was killing each other, and killing other people. You know, from the Peruvians. Every country, every continent. I could bet you, like I said, it could be Antarctica. Sorry, but they have been slavery. And the sad thing about it is, majority of slavery now are just as worse than what it was back then. They're just getting whipped and whatever. Because now they got people mentally locked, so they don't. They're locked in their eyes and they got blindness to see, oh wow, this, and don't see what's going on. So they meant to slave you, and they still have horrible slaves. And when you got young boys and stuff getting alien rape and all this stuff like that in other countries, or some of them are crossing the border to become that. Young girls as well too. Sex traffic slavery is coming over here. It's funny. People have a problem with me saying certain things, but I'm gonna say this as well too. It's kind of weird. I'm using this example, not standing up for the person or whatever. They're not liking the person, but here's the thing though. It was a D agent, a DA in New York back in 2017 or 18, one of those, who for some reason was saying, "Oh, we don't want they didn't want Donald Trump as president. That's your choice. I don't care. I didn't vote for him in the first in 2016 either." He was saying Trump is this. He's a horrible person. He's a misogynist. He's a sexist, whatever. This man literally had an Indian sexual slave, Indian being India, but not India, but, India sexual slave in his basement. Of course, he's in jail, and thank God for that. But it's kind of weird that you throwing. That's why I said at the beginning that I'm a sinner as well too, because I'm not throwing stones at glass house. He literally had a sexual slave in his basement. So it's not easy with all this. Another thing that I've said before, and I say that at the end of my show, and it's because of the grace of my grandmother, rest in peace, who told me, "You stand for good as best as you can. You stand for good." And that's why I come up with the phrase: "Evil comes in all shape, size, color, creed, height, nationality, political party. Evil's evil." I don't consort with no in evil. You want to do some evil things, which we're gonna be talking about. That's you. Whatever you go ahead. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna go heaven or hell. I would love to go heaven, but I don't make that judgment. Only the Lord above knows, and Jesus knows that I'll make the judgment if I'm good enough to go to heaven. I could repent. I could do stuff. But there's some heinous crimes out there. I think a lot of people are just gonna go to hell for it. I mean, oh, sorry, heinous things, not crime. Crime is itself is one thing that is against the Ten Commandments and doing that. But there are some heinous things that people are getting away with, and I don't think they could talk all they want, even if they got on a black robe and talking to the Lord and all you want. Y'all gonna, if I'm going to hell, I'm gonna see you down there with you, because you ain't doing no better than me. In most cases, you're doing worse than me because of the lies that you're telling. Because you're breaking more of the commandments than I am. But hey, that's a situation that puzzles me. So, uncomfortable truth number one, and then uncomfortable truth is this: there's no such thing as unbiased. Everybody's biased. When people talk, When I hear people say, "Oh, I'm biased," I don't know, they're full of crap. The word you're looking for is to be objective, but everybody is biased. Your experiences and your circumstances have shaped your mind. So don't. It's just like saying, you know what, I don't have this, blah blah blah, and then you're gonna say, like, I ain't gotta tell you like this though, right? I ain't gotta lie like that, but I'm gonna tell you a lie or do I ain't got I got black friends, and I'm like white leftists who be like, oh, I got black friends, and I'm gonna, and then they start being racist right in front of them. It's kind of weird, but again, that's that. A lot of people, I've said it before, said it again. Racism, I do not care for it. What I mean, I don't give it. I do not give it power. I don't care. If you don't like me for the color of my skin, which is a stupid thing, but if you don't like me for the color of my skin, then, well, good for you. Let me know and I'll leave you alone. I ain't gonna bother you. I ain't gonna mess with you. You don't mess with my family, and I don't care. That's it. I don't care. You say all kind of crazy stuff. I won't be, following that. Because racism comes from tribalism, and that's why I say good and evil, and saying the part of evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, whatever. Because going back to what I just started begin explaining a little bit, and I'm like I said, I do a video about this. 10% of the African slaves came towards the Caribbean and America. Europeans. Okay. The people who conquered the Mayans and Aztecs and all that stuff for that was Portugal or Portuguese. That's why they, Spaniards. I should say, sorry, Spaniards. That's why you speak Spanish. Cortez, Hernandez, yeah, that's what they're doing. The Spaniards was over here doing stuff before the Europeans came over here. Just saying that. Okay, it happened. Christopher Columbus came down here, 1492, sailed the ocean blue, blah blah, in the Caribbean, named the islands and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, Italians coming over here as well too. But 10% of the African slave trade was the Caribbean. 90% of it went to Brazil. The Portuguese took a lot of the African slaves to Brazil. Don't hear see a lot of people act, they just say Europeans, which touche for y'all for saying that. Europeans, Portugal and Spain are that, but they took them down there. The biggest slave trade out of Africa was by Muslims from the Far East, taking people from Africa, going over far as close to India and everything. And they didn't stop slave trading. Well, they never really stopped, but officially on the books, they stopped slave trading in 1920. That was the biggest slave trade. A lot of African tribes were slaving each other. And a lot of the Europeans could not go into a lot of the African countries because they used to die because they get killed by Africans, one, or two, they got diseases and stuff that their body couldn't take, and they died as well too. So that's why when you go to Ghana, the African they have the gate towards when you have the gate towards this, to the Western slave trade. What was happening was a lot of African tribes who was gaining money from the Europeans and bringing the slaves so they could get whatever they can from the Europeans and the Spaniards and everything else. Like I said, Europeans. See, I didn't just listen to U.S. history. I went over and listened to African history, and listen to people who were Africans who were talking about how their system was set up. God forbid that I use this brain that God gave me to go there and just instead of just listen to just U.S. history, because I was to this week some people were telling me I don't know my history. Okay, I don't know my history, but I could guarantee you I've read more books and read more historian artifacts than most people. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm a scholar or nothing. But to the regular folks who question me, I guarantee you I have. And you want to know another thing why I know most of this stuff here as well too? Because again, sadly, but it's crazy. This the story. The Houthis and the no, what Tutsis and the Houthis. And if I get it wrong, I get it wrong. Cause my mind is just a little frizzled for what started this whole subject in the first place. But they were slaughtering each other, not because they were black, because both people were black. It's because they were different. Short and slender, you're one tribe. Fat and stocky with a big nose, you're one tribe. And they were slaughtering each other by the millions. Ain't no white man did jack squat up in that nonsense to start that. It was they doing it against each other. And I know the story very well. I dated an African woman from Rwanda, and she was telling me the day when she had to run away from her country back in the 90s when this happened. And the story that she told me was very moving, very tragic, and very horrible. What black people was doing to black people, and I know that because I've watched and also read books from Vikings doing that to Northern Vikings. So they were enslaving themselves, doing horrible stuff. Same thing going on in China right now. If you believe in God, except for believing in Xi Jinping, and you believe in God other than Him, what are you doing? Oh wait, you go to a tournament camp. That's where you're going. This is the crazy part. So you don't come at me the whole part thinking that you should be. Oh, I don't know, this whole slavery stuff, or whatever. I just don't care no more. You have choices. You have your hands. You have your feet. You have choices. Don't do stupid stuff. Now I have helped and talked to a lot of black men, black women, but mostly black men and black women. Yeah, I've done most of that. I've helped out Spaniards. I helped out people in the other cases. I ran my company and helped out people in Europe and in Asia and everything like that, and they helped me out as well too. Every nationality and every race on this on this planet, I have good experience with and bad experience with. That's why I don't give a crap about race. Tribalism, yes. That's why I always be with that, because I'm gonna tell you right now, eh, you think if all of us were the same color and we just had different features, we wouldn't still be against each other? We would separate ourselves by nose. Let me even better. We separate ourselves, but that's why I said location. We separate ourselves by location. I'm from downtown. I'm from west side. And we kill each other each other because I'm from a different part of a town. So miss me with the racist crap. I don't give it power because it ain't got the power. If you ain't messing with my food, if you ain't messing with my family, my money, my food, or my medicine, I don't give a dang. Call me a black enter, call me all this stuff. I don't care. I don't give it the power because you're not gonna scare me to be. You're not gonna make me scared to say what's on my mind. I don't care if you're black, white, or whatever color you are. You're not. I am ignorant of some things. And ignorant means lack of knowledge of a specific subject. I am ignorant of space travel. I don't know about the stuff like that. I'm ignorant about um deep sea diving. I don't know a lot about stuff. Even though I love aircrafts and I watch tons of aircraft planes that I know, from a Boeing to a Cessna to a Airbus 320, 350, which I wanted. I would love to fly on a three. It was 350, but that and all these other things. I'm so ignorant of certain things. Throughout my day, if I have the time, whatever, I learn about aircraft. I'm learning about certain things. I learn about cars. I'm learning certain things. But and I am not fully. How I should say, I am not fully intelligent when it comes to full politics because there's so much there's so much stuff and garbage between those things that you're not gonna get the whole thing. But one thing I've learned, again, grandmother, my mother told me, is to look at different sources. That's if you want good sources to know what's going on. I've said it in the last two past shows. Go to something called ground news. It tells you which how the news are being reported. So you can find out the biases easy, which is very easy, and tell you which way the news narrative come. Sometimes you find out, wait a minute, Fox is not talking about this news. It could be like, oh, well, they're not talking about that. Or majority of times when I use it to see, there's a lot of left-leaning stuff is not being reported by this topic, which is very important. Kind of weird. Example, when the trans person shot up the school in Tennessee, where were all MSNBC, CNN, all that stuff? Oh, wait, they were nowhere around. Why? Because it don't fit their narrative. And nowhere around. But if it's a white man that did it, oh yeah, we all on it. Horrible thing, whatever. A black man do it? Oh, we don't want to do that, whatever. And stuff. If they're causing crime in the city, they just don't say nothing, which we'll be pointing out here in a little bit. Right now we have 29,427 people watching worldwide. Thank y'all for giving me your time for that. If I have time, I might read a little bit of comments later. But like I said before, I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that situation at all. That inconvenient truth is that that a lot of people uncomfortable truth, I should say, that people whatever is. You know why I don't really give a dang about the whole what do you call it, global climate, all this other climate change, whatever. I care that we have clean air. I care we have I I care that we have clean air. I care that we have great water. That's one of the reasons why I put a filter system on my house water for me and my family. I ain't trust the government everywhere with in everything in that, because I ain't taking no chances with them like that. And I also have an air purifier in the house and everything too. But anyway, yeah. But when you have China and India who are building, you're shutting down all coal. We shut down more majority of coal plants in America. Protect everybody. Okay. But then in India and China, who did sign the accord with the President Obama about, oh, we're gonna have clean air, blah blah blah. And they're building more coal plants than any other and then any other two other countries. I got a problem with that. Most of the global trash has come from India and China and African coast. Most, not all. Do a lot of rich countries pour crap into the water too? Yes. Not saying that. But let's not have a falsehood about this global pandemic and all this stuff. We don't know what the sun is doing. Because we're nowhere close. We could kind of tell, but we don't. We've only been recording the sun with the best science we can in the last couple of years. In the last, what, maybe 10 to 20 years. That has effect on us as well. That my car driving ain't got effect on the sun that's far away. Again, I'm not saying we don't try to have the clean air and whatever. America has cleaned up a lot of stuff, really it has. But again, when you have countries who sign the accord and they don't believe in it, it kind of makes me feel like, what the hell are we doing? Because it's weird for me, and I've said this multiple times. And did again, I've done videos on all these topics I'm talking about. I've done videos about it. It's a weird thing for me when I hear these young kids who are gotten messed up because they're listening to nonsense and being indoctrinated in school. I'm sorry, but that is the dang on truth. Saying we need to stop when they get in front of cars, park their cars, and create traffic. So people who can't go to work, an ambulance who can't get to go to, like Britain, they just did that again in Britain on one of the bridges into London, and they have arrested all those people and gave them 5 years. Thank you, Britain. That's what you should do. Now I know you could, other countries, you try that, you might lose your life. I'll tell you that right now. But thank you, Britain. You blocking up traffic for what? And saying, oh, we're trying to stop the cars from polluting or whatever. You're creating more pollution by doing that. You have all these weird organizations, Stop Oil. Okay, if that's the case, then don't take off your pants. Take off your clothes and just go butt naked and glue yourself to the asphalt. Because I doubt you that. These same young kids don't know nothing about. Again, I say so many times. This was made with oil. This was made with oil. Computer was made for it. This was made with oil. You can't say we don't stop oil when you use the oil every single day. Every single day we use oil. And again, they're pushing this electric cars agenda. I think after I'm off this planet, you might go figure out some kind of electric stuff, but I gotta tell you right now, we're nowhere close to it. One, and two, again, anybody talking about the African slaves, I should say, that are going into cobalt mines, young kids going to cobalt mines to get this cobalt so you could drive your electric cars? Anybody talking about that? I did a video about that and saw the horrendous stuff about that. Or how about when you leech off the fields off of Chile in Argentina and kill the wildlife and the water sources because you have to use to get the lithium for lithium mines in Argentina. But that's greener than oil, which is natural. Again, the BP oil spill, horrible spill off the Gulf Coast. But oil is in the water and it dissipates. After a while, it will dissipate. The Gulf Coast is clear and whatever it is. That's natural. Let's go in there. That's what's happening. But this leaching of the fields from the lithium battery, lithium mineral, that's killing off coral. That's killing off wildlife. That's toxifying the water. And there's nothing there. It's just a dead zone there. Life has come back in the Gulf where the oil spill happened. And my thinking is, we need to. We need electric power. I am not against solar power. I have solar panels on my roof. We need wind power. In the best cases we can. But we need biodiesel. We need biofuel. We need to use all the stuff to stretch out petroleum. Why? Because I think when petroleum is gone off of this planet, when there's no more oil, or when oil gets super scarce and you talk about crazy, you're gonna see wars that never ever happen on this planet, and I'm not gonna be around for it. Thank goodness. I hope not. Because we use oil for so many things. We don't use it just to power our gas. And again, we use a lot of oil and diesel to do what? Get the electric materials to make electric battery. We're not gonna have, again, in my lifetime, we're not gonna have fully commercial flying planes like a 747 or 757 or Airbus 350 or Airbus 787 flying in the air on just electric power. Ain't happening. Battery is too heavy to do the flights that these people think they could do. Small planes, yes. Big planes like that with cargo and people, the math ain't there yet. The math is not there yet. But we're destroying stuff right now because, again, We could be drilling for oil here in America, making things cheaper because we have oil, make things cheaper, fill back the reserve that our president never filled back the reserve. Of course, not because he didn't want to make gas prices go higher than it is, and they're already high, but higher than it is again. I showed you videos where it's $7, $8 in California and some place. I'm like, the hell? $7. Y'all crazy. Ain't no way. But you live in that crazy state, that's what you're gonna pay for. This is ridiculous. So another another thing that I have to bring up, and sadly, like I said, another convenient truth because I don't understand that. Now, I had this conversation with my lovely wife who's listening. I'm hoping, but I had this conversation with my life. I Before I met my wife, I didn't. I don't. I always used to say I'm more spiritual than religious. And I remember also another uncomfortable truth. People was like, no, people humans will kill each other for more in for religion than for than any other thing on the planet. No, it's not. We have killed more people for for political convenience than religion. Sadly, but true. Because some religion get involved in the politics and did the politics the messed up way. And also, Hitler killed about 20 million people, surmised because of his because what he wanted. And then you have Stalin who killed 40 million people. And then you have Mao Zedong that killed 80 million people. But those two, all that's 100 million for political stuff, for just basically socialism and communism. That's over 100 million people died. But nobody wants to talk about the other two because they mostly killed their own people. And it's like how we are in the black community in America. We talk all this stuff, but the number one killer of black men is other black men. Ain't no white man. The next thing that's killing black men is our diet. That's another thing that's killing us. Again, ain't no white man and ain't no cop doing that. Have cops killed innocent people? Yes, there's a case going on right now with I think it's Manny's, I don't know her name, and rest in peace. She was mentally ill. And I think that, and I always say to the people who are saying for her, um, if you want to go try to get it, just like with the Trayvon Martin, go for murder 3 or 2. Do not go for 1. You cannot prove that. You can't prove that. Y'all think that it is. You can't prove that. Go to murder 1. Go for manslaughter. That's what he did. Should he have shot her for throwing a hot piping water on him? No, no. But that one was mentally, mental illness, and also you should not be throwing hot piping water on people. That's the part. Anyway, in speaking about into religion, I used to say that I am spiritual and not religious. Me and my wife had a couple conversations. We talked about this and everything like that. And of course, I was baptized as a Methodist. I went to Methodist Church back in Nevis in my home country. Went to Methodist Church in St. Thomas. I go to a Baptist church up in the state of North Carolina that I'm living in. That's where I'm at. But I do not. But and I read the Bible. I've been in men's group and I'm up here learning stuff and I read the Bible. And one of the things, and this is why I put it in the topic. I didn't put. I said convenience truth about certain things. But the reason I put, I said, uncomfortable truths about life, politics, and humans, because I just list out some there. I'm not surprised too, Double A. You're correct about that. Sonia Massey, thank you, dear. Sonia Massey, she had mental illness. Like I said, that was a mental. I saw the body cam from the beginning to the end. She was mentally messed up. That's what the problem was, and kind of was more agitated to the cops than she should have been. But again, she was mentally ill. That's just point what it was. As you watch that body cam for all the way through, like I did, yeah, that's messed up. But the same thing I said about life, politics, and humans and stuff like that. When I read the Bible, a lot of people, I look for teachings, I look for stuff, but I also look to see how humans have reacted over the years since we've been coming to this planet. We have done some crazy things against the Lord, and we're blasphemous against the Lord. I'm just saying, human in general. I'm calling meaning and everything. Humans in general. All right, we are. It is quite crazy when you see what we did with excuse me, what we did with Solomon Gomorrah, what we did with the Tower of Babylon, what we did with Noah's Ark. Human beings always go back to doing evil things and being blasphemous and being against what the Lord teachings is. And then he always smites us or correct us or do something, and we have history of it. As you said, if you read the Bible, I see that, and I'm like, well, we should not be doing that, but we're doing it again in this time and age right now. And that's one of the things about certain churches I just can't get with. Majority of them are just there to get money. Point blank, period. We know that. Your Teflon dollar, your whatever stuff. I've done videos about all that situation. But for for things that I see going on with Democrats and and Republicans and everything like that, this is insane. That's what people sign up for and say they're Christians, but then let and but accept sin. See, I don't accept sin. I get it. I know what sin is. I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Like I said, I'm not throwing no glass stones at nobody because I have sin. Will I sin in the future? Yes, I will. I'm not perfect. Only Jesus was the only person who came here who lived a perfect life. I'm not trying to convert nobody or none. I'm just telling you because I am a Christian. That's what it is. But it's so weird to see pastors lying in the pulpit, deceiving people in the pulpit, bringing liars and evil into the pulpit and talk it out. Because what's going on? Because of the time I have and the videos I want to show you people, I want to say this. So I've done videos about this. One of my videos on YouTube, it was on YouTube. I don't think it went to Rumble, so I don't know. I might have to check to see if Rumble picked it up while YouTube deleted that video. But Rumble, I had a video talking about what happened to my friend with clips, with audio clips and everything showing what happened to my friend, husband and two sons, in California. My friend was an immigrant that came from Puerto Rico, moved up to California, married a black man, had 4 kids, 3 boys, boy, girl, then boy. There was illegals. There's a lot of illegals that came into this country. More on the one president than the other. Are we gonna stop illegals? No. But they're more in there. And I'm mark this when I say this again. We have that in some they have caught terrorists at the border. Ain't no way they caught all the terrorists with all the people they're letting in, 13 million people underneath this fourth term of Joe Biden. Ain't no way they've captured that. They capture all the terrorists. There's secret sleeper cells around this country right now. Going to do horrible, horrible stuff. A nuclear bomb will go off in this country because of stupid thinking of our government. People playing politics with people's lives. And when people talk about, oh, I don't talk politics, you see, what I don't talk about is the party to party bullcrap. I have no problem talking policies because that makes difference to us. Yes, I would like lower taxes. Yes, I would like term limits for my Congress and for the Senate. 2 terms. If the president could get 2 terms, they could get 2 terms. I'm a libertarian. If I had my choice of a candidate I would vote for, it would be the president of Argentina right now, who fired over 70,000 government employers because they were basically bench warmers. They weren't doing nothing. They were collecting a check and weren't doing not a daggone thing. We have a lot of bureaucrats in our country, and right now bureaucrats are running this country because Joe Biden was not running not a dang thing. That man needs to go, as he said, he pulled out and said, I'm gonna live out the term. I hope he does, but that's another. I have 2 videos on, like I said, on Rumble. I think I have evidence of receipts of what I'm saying. I have 2 videos, 2 of them saying that what would happen if Joe Biden win, and every single thing, including this now, that he would not make it to the second term. He would not. Joe Biden has put me right in that too as well. So I was correct in that. There's one thing I was wrong on. I'll show you. There was one thing I was wrong on. I was wrong thinking, hey, well, we could, we're gonna, if Joe Biden becomes president, we're going to, excuse me, we're going to, it might inflation. Not inflation. I'm sorry, inflation is gonna go up. I said that as well. To gas go up. All that I was correct on. What I'm trying to think. Oh yes, the debt. The U.S. debt is gonna be about 32 or 33 trillion dollars by the time Joe Biden is done. Go from 20 trillion to 30 trillion. And I'll put this in here for caveat for the morons in the back who don't understand. Yes, I understand back then when Bush was running for president, we had an 8 billion surplus and we literally pissed it away on the Bush. So I am not saying that the Republicans ain't got a problem, ain't got issues in this as well too. We got the spend party, which is the Republicans. We got the spend more party, which is the Democrats. Both parties spend more than we take in. We take in more than enough money every year. Just this year before March, we already don't spend $1 trillion, and we don't even have the money. Spend $1 trillion more than we take in. But my point is, I had it wrong. I thought we would get to like 32, 33 trillion under Joe Biden. Well, you know what? You're wrong. No, you're wrong. Because now, instead of 34 trillion, instead of 32, 33, we're right on preferences to go $35 trillion. We went in 2000, we went from 80 billion surplus to now going $35 trillion. And then Joe Biden has added almost 15 trillion. It's gonna be like his term ain't done yet. So by the time his term done in January, he's gonna add $15 trillion to the debt that we had from 2020. And don't get me wrong, Trump had a problem, had an issue with that too, pointing out with the checks and everything like that. But it was the trillions that this man put on, not compared. It's not compared. $15 trillion in 4 years. So what we gonna be? $45 trillion in the next 4 years. We can't even pay off. We can't even pay off our debt. If you look at this chart right, the U.S. debt clock, which is on, which is literally objective. This is the U.S. clock. Ain't no Republican or Democrat. This is the U.S. debt clock I'm showing you on the screen, so people can understand this nonsense. Because it's so stupid. We have crazy debt, and if we had a what was it? Cause I know it's the where does it has it federal spending. It's just ridiculous. Excuse me. Total debt to GDP 135%. Oh my goodness, this is disgusting. Our revenue is study, but this is it. We overspend so much. We spent 8% more than what we take in, and it's been that for years. It's way worse now, but it built up like that. It started with Bush, so I'm not denying it with Republicans. I'm not gonna deny it. That's one of the things I didn't like about them. That's why I was a Democrat, and then I changed to a Libertarian. And there was a Republican. But yeah, this showing people living in poverty, people living who are bankruptcy have been filed. We are spending ourselves in problems. That's what we are doing. That's why I bring up the clock because it shows how much money we're spending. We're spending all these crazy income tax, payroll tax, and payroll. A lot of people don't even understand what payroll tax is. That's your company spending, and it hurts smaller business than the big corporations, but people don't understand that. Your company is paying money for you just to have you. So that's why your company get taxed for having you, and money comes out of your check for having you. Every time you touch the money comes is tax. Every time. But a lot of people don't understand that. They don't. So let me get into the proper issues before so people understand this. So basically, like I said before, I have a Facebook page, and some people watch people on my Facebook page. I don't put crazy stuff out there like that. I don't. But because Kamala Harris is going to be the presumption every day for the Democrats, everybody puts out there they have on Facebook. Everybody have I'm with her. I'm with her. I'm with her. I'm going to vote for her. Whatever. Did I comment on any of those things and say anything horrible to anybody? No. Even though I disagree with it, did I say that? No. Why? That's just me. All I said was I'm not going to vote for her. I'm not standing with her. I put up pictures. I'm not standing with her because my friend and two sons, as I was telling the story just a little bit ago, and I'm gonna finish it. My friend and her husband and two sons got killed by illegal immigrant. My cousin got killed by illegal immigrant. It was America's most wanted. He got killed by illegal immigrant. My cousin got killed by illegal immigrant because the illegal immigrant was beating up his girlfriend. The bartender came out, stopped him, and when my cousin came out from work to just go into the bar just to get a drink before he go home, they came back and shot the bar and killed my cousin plus 6 other people. Can I stop all illegal immigration? No. At least we could figure out who is in the damn country. I hope we can. But can we stop it? No. But here's the thing, though. I cannot stop silverfish and spiders in my house, but I'm damn near trying to stop a lot of them from they coming in. At least try. At least do something. At least stop that. And also, I know not all illegal immigrants are because I don't use the migrant worker. They're not migrating. It's bull crap. The I know not all illegal immigrants are evil. I know that. I know all of them don't want to do crime. I know that. They're good illegal immigrants who try to do stuff for their family. I get that. There's some of them I know who were illegals and they became citizens. And God bless those people and they're doing very well and I'm happy for them. There's some who are not that, but they ain't doing no evils either. They have not killed nobody or grip somebody or do any horrible thing. No, they didn't do that. But you know what? They're ones who do kill people, who rob people, kill people, murder people. I've seen MS-13. I saw, again, this is a video I saw that I wish I never saw. They pulled the heart out of man's beat. They broke this man's cage and pulled his heart out of his chest. This is how horrible and animalistic those people are. They're barbarians. And my thing is, if you do a crime in America and you have the powerful stuff, if you do a crime in America, my thing is, oh, you wanted to come to America, you want to do a crime? Hey, no problem. Let's put your ass in jail for the rest of your life since you do a horrible crime of beating and raping young girls or boys and all kind of nasty stuff like that. No. I'm dead serious on that. Because people tell me, oh, we should deport them. After deport stuff, if you do a horrible crime or whatever, no, you stick it in jails and stay there. Oh, it takes so much money to put them in jail. It takes less that they take people's lives and do horrible things. I'd rather that than send them back and spend money to try to catch them. That's spending more money. I'm talking about the logical, sensible way to spend less money. You don't want to be in jail. And yeah, we don't put them in jails and stuff like that. That's what I'm for. Again, my friend, sadly, like I said, lost her family, half of her family, just because the DA, which at the time was Kamala Harris, didn't want to have her record to be showing that she has life and everything, or she's tough on crime and stuff. That woman has a record of being tough on crime and not tough on crime. It's a weird thing, which we'll talk about. I'll show you my evidence of that because that's what I do. My friend never voted for Donald Trump. Never voted for Biden either. She never voted. This is the first time in a year that I've talked to her. The first time in years, I should say. She and her oldest daughter that I know are going to vote. And they're not voting Democrat. I can tell you that right now. Because they know the situation. People saying, oh, I person told me, oh, I don't know what happened. That person got loophole and all this stuff like that. Yeah, I know the case. My friend told me the case. And they told me how this gangster was beating up pregnant women and killing other people, and they still let this ban go. Because they're soft on crime. These DAs that some of these people in these cities have, they let all the cripple go. I've showed video of a DA in Louisiana, horrible crime, guys getting beaten up, doing all this stuff, but they let them go. But when they attack him and his mother, miraculously, the man is in jail. Karen Bass, two people. She said, "Oh, we don't need to put people in jail and blah blah blah." And we have the two people break into her house and the main house that she had. I showed a video again. I've showed all this in past videos. This was more recent. One person broke into her house a couple years ago when she was, I think, mayor or DA of Oakland or whatever, or San Francisco. Sorry, he's in jail. The guy who did it right now was a black man. He's in jail. But when they break into your house, they ain't in jail. They're let back out in the streets to do more crime, to do more problem. Now I don't have my video clip because I said, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Let's go to the cameras. And let me show you this. I'm gonna play a clip of this, and I'm gonna do a deep dive on Kamala Harris or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna do one on Biden. I'm gonna do on Kamala Harris. I'm gonna do one on Trump. The man is not a perfect. Nobody there. None of those people are perfect. They're politicians. So I'm gonna do a deep dive on all the stuff bad about all of them, good and bad about all of them. But I just want to play that so people think that I'm not, that you don't understand. So this she did not want death penalty because people are left wing in California. Oh, we should not kill a soul, whatever. Look, I don't care. You start a person, or the videos I've shown of this black kid who pushed her grandma down the stairs and give her concussions and stuff like that in front of a church and robbed her money and stuff like that. Oh yeah. And his mother like, oh, he's great. He was a nice child. Lady, we got your son on camera pushing an 80-year-old grandmother down the steps. I showed that video on my show. Down the steps and robbing the lady. What the heck? Anyway, this is just a tangential hit to what I was talking about my friend.
By a gang member. Quote, "We have thoroughly reviewed the facts and the law in this case," said Kamala. "It was a complicated analysis that involved many issues, many facts, and many laws. It wasn't. She just didn't want a death penalty case on her record, despite the protestations of then Senator Dianne Feinstein. Kamala also avoided seeking the death penalty for an illegal immigrant gang member who committed a triple homicide."
And that's my friend. A triple homicide because it's two boys and a father. Gone because of craziness. Not to seek the death penalty for slaying, because he has life in prison now, but before that they was like, oh well, we don't want to put all these, how should I say this? I don't know. These criminals. Let's just let it be out there. Basically, this is government violence without being government violence. Keep you in check. The government keep in check so you know what's going on. So you still would always need them. But that's just what they do. But I said that, like I was saying before. I said what I said. I posted that thing. I have not gotten more people calling me, talking stuff, saying, oh, you're gonna vote for Trump, you're gonna do this, whatever. You want to vote for Kamala Harris, you could go ahead and vote for Kamala Harris. I don't care. I do understand though that it's gonna shit only goes downhill, so it's gonna keep on going that way. And if Kamala Harris wins, which I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm guessing it's gonna be some crazy, because I also have a video of how the media twist the lies and do all this stuff. I have a video about that. Again, I have my receipts on all these things. My proof, which is not only just articles from different sides, Associated Press, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, different people, because I don't want to listen to one source and just go with that. But God forbid that I don't use my mind. And my mom told me to, hey, open up your mind, learn stuff, and just stick with beyond the plantation, mental slavery. That's not gonna be me. Let's listen to another Democrat talking about Kamala Harris. This is the debate. The funny thing about this, it's kind of weird. Just like with Biden, a lot of people in government, people fail up. I don't understand that. You're horrible in this, you do horrible stuff, but you fail up. I don't get that. But only in government can that happen. She was the first person out of the candidate. He didn't even make the first caucus back in 2020. Y'all didn't like her. All the people say, I'm with Kamala Harris, vote for whatever. Where were you back then? But again, let me Tulsi, take it away.
Proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place. that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
No, I disagree with that last piece right there. But again, I understand. Like I said, I get it. But that's what she said. Miss Harris, can you respond?
As the elected Attorney General of California, I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs to be done. And I am proud of that work.
The bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you were in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Yeah. That's a Democrat talking to another Democrat. Okay, since you don't want to listen to a libertarian. All right. But here's another thing that killed me, and everybody always come. Here's another uncomfortable truth. We live in a republic. We don't live in a democracy. Democracy has never worked. I've said it before. I said it again. Every time countries go from whatever they think to a democracy, the true democracy, they always vote back in the same system that held them back all the time, 100% all the time. That's why we have representatives. That's why this is a democratic republic. That's why it is. But funny enough, as we said, let's go. I'm going to use Fox News now. Let me trigger warning for people who don't like Fox News. Oh, God, can't believe it. I used CNN just a while ago. Now I'm going to use Fox News. But here is another Democrat, RFK, talking about, oh, I don't know, because who knows? I might have gone with RFK. At least he's something different because he sees some of the problems that I've been talking about on my show for the longest time. But I'll let Aaron show it. This is democracy. Yeah, whatever. This was the most undemocracy thing that people have done. But again, you fight for it, but you don't believe in what you're saying.
Democrats have called themselves the party of democracy.
Exactly.
But they ran the least democratic primary ever. They skipped Iowa, New Hampshire, jumped straight to South Carolina.
Yep.
They killed all primary debates, booted RFK Jr. from the party because he posed a threat to Joe. Today, RFK Jr. held a press conference to tell Democrats, I told you so.
A year ago, a little over a year ago, when I entered this race, I predicted that President Biden suffered from a degenerative condition that was not going to improve and that it would make it impossible for him to govern effectively.
Which he didn't.
The reaction of the DNC to that obvious condition was to hide it from the American public and to use their power over the Democratic Party nomination process to make sure that nobody could compete with President Biden in a way that would expose his deficiencies. And as a result, we are where we are today, which is in a period of crisis.
Presidential candidate RFK Jr. joins us now. So, RFK, you ran the right way. You did what you were supposed to do. You were a Democrat. You primaried a Democrat incumbent, and they wouldn't let you. How did they jam you out of this thing? Because now look at what happened.
Yeah, I think it was a strategic mistake by the Democrats, Jesse, and you and I have talked about this before, but they got rid of, they changed the primary rules while while we were running the primary. They changed 60 different rules to make it impossible for anybody to challenge Joe Biden. One of the things that you remember that they did to me is I'd been campaigning in New Hampshire, so they adopted a rule that said that any political candidate, any Democratic candidate who campaigns in New Hampshire, who steps foot into the state of New Hampshire, that all of their votes would go to the president, all of their delegates would go to the president, instead of going to that. And then they shut down the Florida primary. They shut down a bunch of primaries, just said, we're not running them. We already have our candidate. You know, a few weeks ago, President Biden was ridiculing Vladimir Putin, who won 88% of the vote in Russia, and he said, you know, that was a fixed election. because President Putin had made sure no adversaries could challenge him, and also that he had fixed the press so the press wouldn't cover his adversaries. Well, the Democratic Party succeeded in doing the same thing. I haven't been allowed on any of the Democratic networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, as you know, Fox has allowed me on, although Fox, people like you have allowed me to speak. You debate me. You give me a platform, even though you don't agree with things that I say. And I think that's the way the media is supposed to work.
Exactly. That's why I think the media should be working. And again, in North Carolina, RFK is on the ballot for to be you vote for president in North Carolina. But yeah, let me talk about this. Talk about this stuff. I have like I said, not all Democrats are bad. Not all Republicans are bad. Not all are bad. The Republicans are evil. The Democrats are evil. Like I said, evil comes in all shapes, sizes, and everything. Like I always stated. All right, always. But they don't want nobody to mess up their nice little story. Because again, if you go to the Republican side, you still had Nikki Haley, Vivek, all those people were still running. At least they ran, and people choose. That's what y'all said democracy. It's a republic, but a democracy, that's where it should have been. But that was not the case on this end. No. Look. And I want to point out some stuff here that it just annoys me, and I'll leave it to what it is because it's getting late. Majority of people in my family, people whatever. Because that is so weird. Like I said, I'm getting so much flack because I said that one thing, but I don't go to their page and say anything about that and get upset about that. You want to vote for Kamala? Vote for Kamala. It's your choice. But you care that, a black person ain't blaming for a black woman? Well, kind of black woman because she's half Irish, half Jamaican, half Indian. And when she had a chance to keep on saying that she's a black woman, she only say what she needs to. But when on important stages, I'm American Indian. Wait, you're not a black woman? Oh, no, I'm American Indian. And she stated multiple times, I'm not doing nothing for black people. Her own video. I could show you, but I want you to go look. But people always like that. She said herself, she don't. You know what? If Tulsi has it, let me see because she says she won't do nothing for black people. I remember that. But was it in this one? No, because I had the video of she saying she won't. Yeah, but you can find out that she did say that. But and again, don't care for that part. Here's the thing I have with anybody who thinks this thing, whatever. Look, I'm gonna say this way and run into these. There's a reason why I left the Democrat Party. There's a reason why I can't stand with the Democrat Party. I am not a Republican. I have voted for Democrats, Republicans, and Libertarians my whole voting career. So I'm a mixed bag compared to a lot of people. I don't vote straight ticket. I do have people who vote straight ticket because that's stupid. Republican or Democrat, that's stupid that you will vote straight ticket for something like that. I ain't doing that. I'm going to look at the issues, and I always have, and I vote the way I always vote. But if you want me a mindless sheep to vote straight ticket because, I'm for the party. So let me ask I'll ask the question here from me. This is one of the reasons I walked away from the Democrat Party. When I was had a registered Democrat. This is the reason I walked away from that. I'm gonna give you some reason because if people will say, "Well, I'm for God, I'm for this, and whatever," that's why I don't like some of these black churches and these pastors lining the pulpit doing all the stuff they're talking about. Oh yeah, whatever. I read the Bible just like you read the Bible, Pastor. And some of y'all, it looks like somebody goes over you. And I'm gonna give credit to the people who just do it for the money. I'm talking about the ones in the small churches you try to manipulate people and say all the most craziest things. You're for the Democrat Party. Okay, you're for the Democrat Party. All right. Same party that has their section, that have This person you see on the screen as a secretary for health. No, as a libertarian, I don't care what you do with your body after you're 20 years old, unless I care. I don't care except for one thing. I don't care for except for one thing. If you're a man and you're transgender as a woman, or you're a woman, because there's more men to women that got killed this way than women to men. If you're, but because there was a case in Colorado where a woman killed a man because she wanted a child, she did not know stuff, blah blah blah, and found out that he was a she. But there are more men that have killed transgenders, not because they don't like them, it's because the transgender person lied to them. When your clothes is off and you thinking you're going intimate, that is the most vulnerable spot for a person, men and women. And if somebody pulls out, I see something that I don't like, yeah, I'm gonna be very vulnerable, very angry. The mind was that I do not condone killing that person. Listen carefully, you two, for this, because I'm putting this video. I don't condone killing anybody. Anybody. Nobody should die for stupidness. Really, they shouldn't. Except if it's a bear or something attacking them, like, hey, why you messing with the bear? Or the snake or something like that. That's Darwin taking care of business. But a human who could actually think whatever should not kill another person. Okay? Unless it's self-defense or in a war, which is different. There's only two cases, whatever. But when you present yourself as a woman to a man and then you ain't have the full surgery and stuff like that, and he finds out, he should not kill you. Not kill you at all. I'll say it again. But that person will be flipping angry. There was a case that happened just last week in Atlanta. What happened? This person there's a woman. He had most of the stuff, looked like a woman, but he didn't get a full surgery done, and thought that the person that he was going to do this was going to be all right with that. Sadly, he lost his life. Because he lost his life. This person you have right here is a dude pretending to be a woman. They're not a woman. They never will be a woman. That's what we give you the word trans. You cannot change your chromosome, and you cannot change your sexual functions. You cannot. God made man and woman. That's what it is. They have genetic situations between those two, and we understand that, a hermaphrodite or certain things. We have that. We get that. But we don't have. But again, this is the person in charge of. This is one of the persons, because is Xavier Jose, Javier Xavier. Because I don't agree with the person, but Xavier or whatever his name is, the head of that. This is his secretary behind him. This is a man pretending to be a woman. You're not a woman. Sorry, you're just not. You should not get hurt because of that, but you're not. But let's go into a conversation with this, shall we? They're in charge of national health care. Okay, I don't know. Make sure the hospitals run right. Make sure drugs are not killing people. Make sure to protect us from diseases from out of the world, which they did a horrible job in 2020. So, Dr. Fauci is a straight up.
You piece of loser.
Okay, he lied and lied and lied and lied and lied. And again, Trump fell for the lies too when he was at the end part of it too. He wanted to stop it at the end, but you let it go. So what else? So Trump, you're part of this too. You let that crazy man run crazy stuff and lie to everybody just so he could make money. The same people that y'all throw your backs is this man is making money off of y'all. Us, I should say. So let's take this experimental. I ain't taking. But that's what you're supposed to be doing. HSS, just like the Secret Service is supposed to protect the president, but I don't know what they were doing. And this right here. So let's go. Again, Health Services Department.
This morning's opening general session, Admiral Rachel Levine, Assistant Secretary for Health and Human Services, is here in studio now to discuss what she sees as the biggest public health issues and what are some of our biggest accomplishments thus far. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased to be here.
So tell us first off, what are some of the biggest issues, facing public health right now?
Well, right now, of course, at Health and Human Services, we're focusing on health equity. Healthy People 2030 defines health equity as the highest attainment of health for all people. And that really informs, under Secretary Javier Becerra, much of our work at HHS. So we are working, for example, on the impacts of climate change on health. With a new Office of Climate Change and Health Equity. We're working on environmental justice. The impacts of long COVID on communities and populations, again, with that health equity lens. Food and nutrition security, and much more.
Are there other issues that you want to tackle or that you think should be really something that we should focus on?
Well, we are absolutely focusing on the impacts of climate change on health. And we have seen that in the United States and around the world. That can be extreme heat. It can be fires with the resulting smoke that we saw for the first time ever in New York City and in Washington.
That's a lie. This result involving smoke. That's bull. Like they've been smoking fires in New York before. Extreme heat. Okay, whatever.
DC, sea level rise and storms that are exacerbated by climate change. And of course, the health impacts are with those same vulnerable communities that have health disparities in terms of other issues. So our new Office of Climate Change and Health Equity, with its sister Office of Environmental Justice, is looking at that at a...
You heard those departments. This is supposed to be about health stuff, and people gonna say, "Oh, well, take this is about health." No, it ain't. This is what government do. They create offices so they will get more of our money to do nothing. They don't do what they're supposed to do. We have too much government. Literally too much government. The government class have got so much money compared to us regular people. They ain't got jack crap to do with health stuff. But what were those offices again? Justice and all that. They ain't got to know with health and human services. No wonder the disease gets you here and get problems because you're not focusing on the main thing that you're supposed to be doing.
Is looking at that at HHS and really working across the government. We're going to COP28 in Dubai at the United Arab Emirates to work on this globally as well.
And so is being here at the APHA, meeting and expo, is that one of the reasons why you're here is really to raise awareness about this, but also to collaborate with others?
That's exactly right. So APHA is such a fantastic organization, and its meeting is so large with thousands and thousands of members. It's a great opportunity to collaborate, to talk about these type of ideas. And during the opening session, I talked about a program that we're advancing called People and Places Thriving. People and Places Thriving. And it really looks at many of the issues we're looking at with a new lens, a new lens of the vital conditions of well-being and justice. And this is something that's across HHS, but actually across the federal government.
And you want to know why we got $35 trillion in debt. That's not their job. Justice in this, we have a Justice Department, we have an EPA, Environmental Department. Let them take care of that, which also is bloated and got too much stuff. And he has said some crazy stuff as well, too. About pushing stuff for little kids to be transgender and all this stuff like that. Again, the Democratic Party. A lot of people like with churches and everything. Oh, yes, I'm for to be with the Democrats. So, yeah, same party who believes in the transgender and stuff. Again, you're over 18 years old. Do what the hell you want. Do not care. Leave the kids alone until they get up there. You got kids now, you got young girls cutting off their breasts at 14 years old because they think they're boys. And then after they get through that awkward period of going to something we call mature puberty, to be matured, I made a horrible mistake. Because you know what? A lot of these people, they never talk about the people who regret becoming transgendered, like when the full transition. You're not gonna make you're gonna make an artificial vagina as much as you can. Ain't gonna be as good as the real one in the functions and what it does or whatever. A woman who transgenders to a man can never create sperm. What you gonna do? Create synthetic sperm or steal a sperm from somebody to make it so you can artificiate some woman? Like, why go through all that headache and whatever? And again, the LBTQ, like I said, I could give homosexual gay. You like men, you like men. I got nothing against that. You figure that out. That's not my. I'm not gonna judge you on that because you're gonna be judged at the end, just like I'm gonna be judged at the end. So you do you. As long as you ain't hurting nobody else, I don't care. Lesbians, here you go. You like a woman? You like a woman. Again, you do you. You do whatever it is. You get judged, whatever, but you do what you do. Bi is just crazy. You're just a greedy person. Trans. You know there are women out there who are lesbian, but are also losing their jobs and also getting beat and all kind of horrible stuff because they don't want to accept a man becoming a woman. So by the definition, it's a contradiction phrase, LBGTQ. It's just so weird, ain't it? But that's not what we worry about for me. You say you're Christian and stuff like that, and you basically are cool with this. That's all I'm saying. You say you're Christian or whatever. I can tell you right now, a lot of the Mexicans that are coming over, that's taking a lot of the jobs from a lot of low class citizens, mostly black or whatever, as they say. They're mostly Catholic and they don't believe in some of this stuff. So some of them are fighting back against this. They're literally fighting back against this. Go to Dearborn, Michigan, where a lot of the Muslims roll in. They ain't playing this with their kids. Them Muslim women, they ain't playing that with these leftists. They're literally coming and saying, "Don't you dare do this to our kids." And they're arguing and fighting to get these people out. Y'all say, "Oh, let's bring them in. They're gonna vote for us, whatever." And yeah, they're gonna change stuff right now. That's happening. That's happening in Europe right now, and it's also happening in pockets of you call it. In pockets of Europe and everything like that. And the pockets also, I mean America. Sorry, in pockets in America. That's what I meant to say. In pockets of America. It's crazy. That's the situation. A lot of people also it literally puzzles me in certain cases when I say that a lot of people out there don't like this stuff, but because it's a party, they want to stick with them, and I don't get it. You will go to Project Open Mic on YouTube and again on Rumble.com. I've showed videos of what happened in America from the end of slavery up to now. We black people had families together. We had families. We had a higher, excuse me, we had a higher marital rate than whites in America after slavery up to 1960s. The first politicians were mostly Republicans, but were black, but we don't count those. They don't count that part in history, of course not. LG based when Lyndon B. Johnson said, "Give me the Great Society. I have these N's voting 200 voting Democrat for 200 years." He was correct. I'm always a believer of somebody you want to prove them, you prove them wrong. He was correct. He gave him the Great Society. The Great Society evolved of taking black men out of their families and making women have that. The more you have kids, the more money we give you. The more you put your house, because you put your boyfriend or whatever on child support, we're gonna give you money, but we're gonna take money off of that as well too. Because look at it, let me see. If he can't work, he can't pay child support. He'll be backed up. So it's a repetitious cycle to break down the family. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Break up the family. Black culture in America, they have some black excellency. I'm not gonna deny they don't, but it also has some problems. As I said before, we kill each other at a high rate. We need to stop that. But a lot of people say, "Oh, these people don't know the difference." Whatever. It is people. A lot of people who run the schools want black people to be stupid. I've done shows about that too. And majority of those people vote for what? Vote for Democrat. I left the Democrat Party because the teachers were saying, teachers union was like, "Oh, shut down the schools, shut down the schools, so they don't, so the kids don't go to so we don't, with COVID and everything." While they, like the president of the teachers union and in local chapters of the units, where were they? Oh, they were taking vacations. Their children were still going to private schools. You got Elizabeth Warren saying that my son went to private school. I mean, went to public children went to public school for what? A semester, and then went private school all the time. Stop lying, lady. Just as you try to say, "Oh, I was Indian." You are more whiter than Donald Trump. And you did it to yourself by taking the DNA test. Funny how that worked out, Liz Warren. One of the most inconvenient truths also that annoys me too is people from that is like, "Oh, that the government would do a good job with my money better than me." And I don't like that. I don't care Republican or Democrat. I don't like that. Let me keep more of my money. Let me do what I want to do. People say, "Oh, we could have what was it? What they call it with the income, universal income." I have a question. If you have universal income, who are you taking the money from? Oh, we're taking the money from the rich. Let me tell you a little story about France, and France is going to learn this the hard way once again. When they had the former president in France, he raised the tax on the rich. Here's what rich people could do or affluent people could do. They could move to another country or state. And in France, when Frankie Hollande had that problem, the rich sell their chateaus that was worth $30 million for like $15 million, $10 million. Some of them were sold them for $5 million. They left the country. That source of income went bottoms up. And what did that do? All the people who was middle class and poor, that's what I did. That raised them up into the spot since the top went away, and they started paying an 80% tax. And let's just say Frankie did not keep that law in it because people was basically rioting. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand natural, just simple sense, as I call it. I mean, my friends know I call it common sense. No, I call it simple sense. Water is wet, fire is hot, ice is cold. You keep on raising it up past the where it's supposed to be. That's what's happening in California. That's what's happening in New York. Those people are leaving those states and making it harder for the burden. And now you're getting a lot of the illegals going to those states, and they're taking more money than the blacks that have been living there, who are natural citizens of America. Shocking, isn't it? Just ridiculous. But again, that's the situation we have. But you know what? So I don't agree with the Democrats on the school system. I do not because again, They always fail. They always say, "Oh, let's lower the bar, that these kids can't read." I forgot to put up put it up. I'm gonna show you. But look at I'm indifferent with LeBron James. Good basketball, great basketball player. Michael Jordan's mind's over him, but good basketball player. I'm happy that he married his wife and he has his kids. I wish LeBron speak more of that. The same thing I wish Obama and Michelle did. Speak more on, hey, black, if you want to have a successful black family to make money and be careful, marry the person that you're having a child with. I mean, marry before carried, of course, but do that. Have a family and you won't be in problems. As we see, single mother rates has caused more trouble. You could go look at this, go to Pew Research and look at the numbers. Single dads do better than single moms when raising their kids because they know they gotta do what they gotta do in most cases by a percentage of number. But they're just under both parents in the household. Another thing is when Pew Research did research and stuff, it's funny. You want to know what the most domestic violence is in a couple is? Lesbians. It's lesbians, then heterosexual couples, then gay men, then heterosexual men. Not heterosexual, sorry, homosexual men. I apologize, homosexual men. They've done the most violence. There's more violence in lesbian couples. There's so many things I do not agree with the party with. So let me make that straight out clear with it. I don't agree with the party with. That's one of the reasons I went from a Democrat. And I went for it. Another thing that my eyes, which is the last thing I'm going to show you right here and just montage it and go. It's one of the reasons my eyes see things and I'm like, oh. Because everybody always say, the Republicans doing this, the Republicans doing this, the Republicans doing this. That's the excuse all the time. Well, let's look at something right here. The Republicans are doing this. Okay. Let me show you some states / cities that are run basically poorly, untested, pure Democrats. Let's go look at their cities and see what's going on. Shall we? New York City.
Brazen.
Let me put it on the side. I need to put it on the screen. We have 52,400 and hey, thank y'all for watching. I praise you guys, man. Thank you for giving me your ear on this. I don't think I'll do the comments. Like I said, I might do the comments. I might do a show responding to this in the comments. I gotta do something like that because if I got this much people watching, it is crazy. I'm gonna try to think. But check this out here. New York City.
Robbery at a Lululemon store is caught on camera. Watch here as the suspects stroll out of the store right past a security guard with sacks full of merchandise.
No. Seriously. Get out.
Jennifer Ferguson and Rachel Rogers say they were fired for trying to stop shoplifters from stealing from Lululemon.
They stroll in like regular shoppers, then scramble out lugging bags filled and arms full of stolen goods.
White, black, yeah, criminals are just doing
They would
that.
literally strip the shelves of everything within a matter of seconds.
A heist at a Lululemon happens right before our eyes. What is it about Lululemon? It seems like they're always at targets.
Yeah.
But let's keep on going a little further than that. This is now happening now that the illegal immigrants are in the country now, and this is also happening in New York.
To pull off that experts say it's only going to get worse.
The thieves are demanding watches, wallets, and cell phones.
The video we're talking about shows men moving around a dining table and scaring people.
Investigators say one of them had a gun, another had a knife. Police say they got away with $200 in cash from the register and 5 iPhones from customers.
They're using crimes of opportunity where they're just basically grabbing purses or handbags off chairs and running out.
Surveillance video shows a man toting a gun, he's demanding customers here to hand over their watches and wallets. Detectives are now looking into whether or not the same men robbed customers at Carbone in Lower Manhattan.
Is there one thing in particular that you think is leading to this?
Well, it's a lot of things. It's a lot of the laws that have been passed that have basically tied the hands of the police.
Officers are now required to record the race, age, and gender of anyone they approach.
It slows officers down from going to a scene immediately.
Overall robberies are up 5% citywide compared to the same time frame last June.
So if you're in New York now and you sitting outside, and not even outside, because I can show the rest of the video. They're coming in the bar, they're coming inside a restaurant now and robbing you. Wow. How brazen is that? But again, yeah. I should say, oh, I want Democrats to run everything. That's why I don't live in states. I don't live in a state that have Democrats running everything, because this shit happens. You know, Republicans stopping this shit. But let's continue, because the president of this state wants to be president, and just like Kamala Harris. Hell no, I don't want this man to be president. Why? Well, let's watch why.
Really? But first, good news. We're not talking about San Francisco's homeless crisis for one.
And also, a person challenged me and tell me about numbers. He said, "Oh, you get your numbers, whatever." You don't know why the numbers don't. Well, again, this video will basically proves what I'm saying.
Once, bad news, it's about Oakland and its rampant crime. Because the most diverse thing about California's Bay Area is its array of issues. Like any city in America, Oakland has crime. But it seems to have gotten its fair share and then some, plus even more, with extra sprinkles on top. Some of the most notable criminal incidents include that one week when at least 13 senior citizens were robbed and attacked. Oh, and those are just official numbers. According to some leaders at a senior care facility, the actual number is closer to 30, but who's counting? Obviously not the city. Does anyone know where Andrew Cuomo was when this was taking place? Then there was that time when over 70 robbers ravaged a 76 gas station. It ended up taking police just a bit longer than normal to respond. 9 hours. Not 9 minutes, 9 hours. Did the entire police department just start a Lord of the Rings marathon and say, "We ain't leaving until Frodo gets to Mordor"? Hey, at least the owner didn't have to wait days for the police to respond and show up, unlike those poor souls in one bullet-riddled apartment complex. Which makes sense because, as everyone knows, forensic experts can't work until bullets have had time to ripen in the sun, like grapes on a violent, crime-riddled vine. And that gas station that got mobbed just so happens to be less than half a mile away from where an In-N-Out burger closed its doors. In-N-Out had been there for 18 years and was busy and profitable, but closed over safety concerns.
Yeah, kind of robbing people in when they're going into the restaurant and breaking into their cars and holding people at gunpoint in the drive-thru, because you can't really drive, you blocked whatever. They made profit, but they closed because also their employees was getting robbed, and it was not safe. Again, ain't no Republicans running these cities, so don't have me the nonsense with that crap.
What a coincidence. Things are so bad, even Denny's shut down for good in Oakland. And multiple Taco Bells have closed indoor dining there due to safety.
And that's another thing that killed me. You know what causes... I've done so much videos about this to prove my point. You know, I've said this again. You know what causes the food deserts everybody's talking about? It's two things: crime and government. All the food deserts in New Jersey, New York, and stuff, they were like, oh, why did that store left? Because they were getting robbed and nobody was doing nothing about it. And the politicians, which were Democrats, were saying, oh, well, we need more officers. When you go back and find out a year later, they said defund the police, so they defunded the police and people walked away. You'll see this in this. You'll see what I'm talking about in this video as well too. That don't make logical sense to me. That don't make common sense at all, and that's why I walked away.
Do you know how sketchy you have to be to make Denny's and Taco Bell feel unsafe? That's like making Guy Fieri turn down a sandwich because it's too unhealthy. Oakland is really full of crazy crime stories.
Broke in, ripped the safe out of the floor, took the safe out, rolled it out.
People driving down the streets have been robbed at gunpoint.
And if you call 911,
calling the police at 3 a.m. and them not coming until 9 a.m. in the morning.
While we were there in front waiting for the police to come, they were breaking into several other businesses down the street.
Resident Lori Beltran calls Oakland the Wild West. Lately, this is what she sees in her neighborhood. Motorcycle riders tearing up the park near Lake Merritt.
What? Oakland isn't the Wild West. Housing in the Wild West was actually affordable. But guess what? California leaders say that's all in the past. Things are actually improving. Oakland Mayor Shung Thao and California Governor Gavin Newsom can proudly say that crime is down by 33% compared to last year.
There's a problem with that. If you don't count the crime, how you get that 33% number?
Police data shows a 33% decrease in overall crime this year compared to last year.
New OPD data showing homicides, assaults, and burglaries are all down.
Wow, does this mean the police show up to a robbery in 6 hours instead of 9? That's progress. So what a great ending to the story. Oakland is getting back on its feet, right? Well,
no.
Looks like it's time for another segment of Wait, is that true? As usual, there's much more than meets the eye. According to the Oakland Report and the San Francisco Chronicle, Oakland's crime data is very misleading. Many news media outlets took...
Shocking? That their numbers are Nah, can't be. This can't be, sir. How can you say that?
The 33% figure to mean the same time period in 2024 as with 2023. But that's where the misrepresentation of data begins. The 33% figure is actually based on year-to-date crime data that has not been fully calculated by Oakland police. Because if they're that slow to respond to active crimes, I doubt they'll get the let out to do math. The mayor and the news media incorrectly compare partially counted 2024 data to fully counted 2023 data. I can understand politicians misrepresenting data to make themselves look good, but news media, seriously? They couldn't even bother to look at the data and do a basic fact check instead of just taking politicians' word at face value?
Oh, yeah.
If only there were somebody who knows better.
Yeah, like me.
Now, it could be that crime really is declining. It's pretty unlikely, but we just don't know yet. According to the Oakland Report, 2024 crime trends are mixed. Compared to 2023, homicides and firearm assaults are down 10 to 20%, but residential robberies have doubled. I'm sure that has nothing to do with police not showing up to crimes, though. No, just a coincidence. It's also entirely possible that the authorities are underestimating crime rates. According to the Oakland Report, the underreporting error at this time last year was 35%, suggesting that the observed decrease is just a reflection of that underreporting error.
No, duh. How am I surprised? If you're not reporting, how would you know that the numbers really go down, whatever, unless you make the number up?
And there's a reason why people aren't reporting crime as much as they should. In a survey conducted by Koreatown Northgate Community Benefit District and others, 92% of the businesses said they've stopped reporting crimes to the police, thinking nothing will be done. 92% don't believe the police will do what they're supposed to do. You know, it's bad when politicians have higher approval ratings. California politicians even. And if police actually do something, who knows how long victims have to wait. Taking days to respond isn't reassuring. In fact, Oakland has the worst 911 response times in all of California, with some residents having to wait at least 20 minutes or longer. It's so bad that it won't meet the state's deadline to fix its response. It's even at risk of being referred to the state attorney general over this issue. I imagine Oakland police would get terrible Yelp reviews if everyone's iPhones and laptops weren't getting stolen. To make matters worse, according to a February report by the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice, the Oakland Police Department had a very low case clearance rate of 1.5% for serious criminal offenses in 2022, and just 6.5% for violent crimes. That same month, the Oakland report found that Oakland ranks at the top in per capita property crime, 10th in murder, and shows the fastest rates of crime increases of cities over 300,000 people.
Well, what do you know? If you use the right numbers, no, sorry, wrong way to say. If you literally just count the truth, you will find out that S is getting crazier. Go figure.
Certainly doesn't help that Oakland is short on police. You see, in the wake of the George Floyd protests, Oakland joined the progressive criminal justice bandwagon. It diverted $18 million from its police force. But as it turned out, that didn't help address crime. And now, that criminal justice bandwagon had its tires stolen. Oakland's then mayor, Libby Schaaf, admitted that the defund the police push went too far.
You think?
Turns out people in charge of stopping crime are a pretty decent deterrent for crime. Who could have guessed? But when the current mayor, Chung Thao, came around, she put a police hiring freeze in place last year. According to the FBI,
No, son of a bitch!
They're too smart for themselves, literally. That's what the problem is. So you put a freeze. Okay, that's a smart thing to do.
the national average of police staffing in 2017 was 2.4 officers per 1,000 residents. So why, in a city of 435,000 residents, Oakland currently has just 35 officers on patrol at any...
What? What the fuck?
35 officers to take care of that much people. Oh, great job. That's good. That's something, that's positive. Yes. We got to do the, we don't want to get shot by the cops. We can just get shot by my neighbor or my neighbor's friend or my neighbor's grandson. Let's just go with that thinking.
Any given moment is just dumbfounding. And a recent budget proposal by Thao would have actually decreased the number of police officers in Oakland. So it's no wonder why it takes so long for the police to respond. Unsurprisingly, lots of people aren't happy with Thao's way of handling crime, which is why she's facing a recall election after less than 2 years in office. To make matters worse for Thao, the FBI raided her house. Although considering she lives in Oakland, she might have been used to her house getting raided. The raid was part of an apparent corruption investigation whose targets and details still remain unclear, but which appear to involve political money laundering, 2 violent attacks on a possible key witness, and a nightclub allegedly engaged in drug dealing and sex trafficking. We don't know exactly.
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
Yeah. Because for some weird reason, as I just stated before, a guy who will blame another person saying about sex trafficking, he literally had a sex slave in his dungeon, in his basement, and Miss Young Thing, Asian Young Thing right here, did almost the same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised by the deplorable situation.
Exactly how Thao is involved, or if she is at all. Assume innocent until proven guilty. But it's pretty bad optics to have that happen, plus the FBI demanding government records. Meanwhile, Oakland District Attorney Pamela Price is also in hot water. She campaigned on more lenient sentences, even amid fears over crime. Now, Price is facing a recall election as well. As it turns out, not a lot of people are in the mood for what they see as a soft-on-crime approach. Even Californians are now saying, really, California? Really? If you like America Uncovered...
And that's just the point of it all. So when I see just look at Tiffany Haddish. Hear that name, Tiffany Haddish. Look what she's doing to Illinois to other black people. She robbed $7 million that they gotta go up in taxes to do. Made other black people can't do business inside of the city. She extorted black people in the city. And what happened? Mostly black women voted for her because she was a single black mom. Oh, we're going to vote for her over the whatever. Come to find out she was worse than the person before her because y'all are losing money. And y'all got to pay the deficit. And y'all taxes are raised for her so she could do her evils. Kind of weird how that works out, have it, huh? So Tiffany Henry, who was a black woman, and a lot of black women voted for her. And I did videos about what she's like. I voted for her because she was a black woman. And then they're now saying, I can't believe she's so crooked and she was so horrible person. Shocking. I'm not voting for nobody because they're black, or white, or man, or woman, or none of that nonsense. Now let's be honest, we know what's gonna happen. They're gonna say, oh, you're a sexist or you're misogynist because you ain't gonna vote for a woman. No, I don't vote for Kamala Harris for a simple reason. I stated it on my Facebook page. If y'all don't like it, unfollow me, move along. My family members who don't like what I said, whatever, move along. I take the gift that God has given right here, and I'm not going to insult it. You want to vote for your vote, go ahead. But just because I say I don't stand with y'all don't try to catch fire for me and say that, I'm not that. And I don't care. We'll wait to see what happened in November. Do I expect that there's going to be some cheating going on in that? It's going to be. Ain't no ifs, ands about it. It's going to be. Because we already don't see how things are going to be. So we'll see what happens, and we'll leave it is. I'm going to go with one of the things my grandmother told me. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's what she told me in one of my sayings, and that's what I'm going to do. Because I can hope for the best outcome, but people are stupid. And they're going to vote, as we see, stupidly for things. So again, uncomfortable truths. I want to leave on a positive note. I don't want to be all negative and everything. I live on a positive note. And this is for mostly, this is for anybody, but including for my black people. Right? Guys, wrap it up. I can't tell you to stop having sex, but don't be an idiot or a moron to have unprotected sex with any women. Some of them will put you in jail for life. Some of them will put you in some troubles for some crazy stuff. And some might take away the chance of taking take away your life away because of that. So wrap it up or don't have sex. I have never had unprotected sex until I met my wife. Okay? Because I ain't taking a chance. And even when I did that, I still had a woman try to say, oh, you're the dad and all that nonsense. Of course, I have DNA to prove that it wasn't. So I didn't fall. So, yeah. Even this ugly face you see right here had a woman climbing to just try to do that to me. So, yeah, I don't care. Protect yourself. 2, go to school. Get your high school diploma. Get out. But you don't have to go to college. Go to trade school. Do something else. Mechanics, HVC, pest defense, all that stuff. You could make $100,000 doing those jobs. It'll take a couple of years in some cases, but you could do that job and make a good amount of money. The job I've done for architecture, whatever, I started with $10,000 an hour to make what I'm making right now. It took years. I've been in my job for almost, next year will be 20 years. I've been in the company I've been working for. Ladies, stop getting stupid degrees. Okay? That's all I can tell you. Stop getting stupid degrees. Go also for good degrees. You want to be a doctor? No problem with that. But don't go for a degree that costs more than what you will make out of it. That's a stupid thinking. 80% of debt is women in America. 80% of college debt is women in America. And oh yeah, inconvenient truth, no, uncomfortable truth. Black women, yes, you are more educated than black men because you go to college, but you have more debt, and you have the more crazy degrees that don't make no money than us. Just is. So just because you're educated doesn't make you special either. Because I know even my own family and everything, I know people who are educated as dumb as a box of hair. Get all fancy degrees and do the most dumbest thing that I'm like, why would you do that? Why the hell would you do that? It makes no difference in that regard. And last but not least, before that, another thing why I don't care, like I said, you want to go, dads, you don't want to worry about it, because again, woman has all authority to kill your child even though you're the father and all that stuff. They have the power to do that. You don't have nothing to concede onto that. So that's why I say be careful who you have sex with and wrap it up all the time. Okay? When you get put in the system and then you're dragged down, you can't do nothing. And you're deadbeat dad because your baby mama put you in jail because you couldn't pay child support. Of course, if you're in jail, child support is occurring, so you cannot pay yourself out of it. It's a reciprocal cycle. But again, like I said, I'm gonna really choose all the stupid stuff like that. Just take care of yourself, then take care of your family, then take care of your neighbors, so we can have a better community. Right? Evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, political party, anything. Evil is evil no matter what. I stand for good, and I don't care what color and thing you are. I do not give racism the day because they're not gonna control me. Tribalism is the real thing, and that's what it's all. And last but not least, again, individual smart. Again, people are stupid. Individual smart. Be the smart people. Be the smart individual. All right. That's all I can tell you. Hope you all have a good night. Thank you for the 50,000 plus people watching worldwide. Again, we'll catch you next week, Thursday, between 8 and 8:30. You know where to catch us out. Peace out. Have a good day. Good night. Whenever you see this, catch y'all next time.